Taylor Swift has built her entire career off of being mediocre, white, and blonde. That might just ruffle some feathers. But that's what a lot of people are saying currently right now on social media, especially when it comes to her latest album release. So if you're looking at the title, I'm sure you either came here to fight, you're curious, or you believe it too. Though I don't think all of what I said in the beginning is true, I do believe a large portion of Taylor Swift's career has been built off of victimhood. And now with us seeing that that same exact narrative is affecting Black women and has been, though a lot of y'all don't care to see that, we are seeing the dark side of the good girl aesthetic. And that goes to the ultimate question that you'll have to answer yourself by the end of this video. Is Taylor Swift massive success about her talent, or is her success based off of her being the innocent, palatable white woman? We're about to break it all down in today's video. But before we get into today's video, what is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. My name is Toni Bryanne, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing how Taylor Swift is seemingly the ultimate pick-me. I don't know how any of y'all days are, but I do like to start off every video with a little bit of positivity, so let's first start off with the quote of the day and then the verse of the day. Today's quote of the day is, "I continue to have courage through whatever life brings my way." Today's verse of the day really spoke to me yesterday. I really needed it, so I want to share it with you guys as well. So today's verse of the day is Romans chapter 12, verse 12, and it reads, "Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer." Last thing before we dive deep into this video, please be sure you guys are following me on all my social media platforms. They're all going to be linked and listed here. Remember, this show is also a podcast, so you guys are able to listen to me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, and all audio streaming platforms basically. So you guys will be able to check it out too. It's going to be linked down below in the description box. I also have a separate podcast called The Decision Podcast, where I have guests come on that talk about how one choice impacted their entire life. It is a very interesting podcast. I think you can learn so much from it. So please be sure to check that out. And if you guys want to be a guest on that podcast, the Google form sheet is going to be linked down below as well. Remember, you have to be in the Atlanta area or willing to travel to Atlanta. And yeah, without further ado, guys, let's get straight into today's video.
Taking you in this moment.
So if you guys don't know what a pick-me is, though I think I've done like 1 or 2 videos on pick-me's, but a pick-me is a woman who seeks validation by differentiating herself from other women, especially in ways that appeal to men. So if you guys don't remember, early on in Taylor's career, a lot of her music kind of gave the girl next door vibe. She described herself as being innocent or overlooked, not like the other girls. I mean, literally think of the lyrics in her song, "You Belong With Me," where in the song she says in quote, "She wears short skirts, I wear t-shirts, she's cheer captain and I'm on the bleachers. Dreaming about the day that when you wake up and find that what you're looking for is waiting outside." Is that the lyrics? "That what you're looking for has been here the whole time." So in those lyrics in itself, she is clearly going against the girls that are typically picked, the cheerleader or the girl that wears like little skirts. But she's different. She's not like those girls. And that's why you, the man, belongs with her. Now, those lyrics are super cute and cheeky, especially if you are in high school and you're a young girl and you're one that doesn't necessarily stand out. So you can look at it as a song uplifting women or uplifting young girls. But when you look at it on a deeper scope, especially when there's a pattern of these lyrics. Hello, we have a little friend here. Hi, baby. Okay. Well, I guess she's gonna be in it too. She's a Swift. Are you a Swiftie? It's giving Swiftie. Oh, Nala. I think she's a Swiftie. She's like, oh, she's rubbing her face on my laptop. You're staying here? Hi, Bookies. Oh, thank you. Mommy's brown. She's gonna get lip gloss on you. You're gonna stay here? I don't know if you can stay here. Hi, baby. But yeah, when you're continuously putting women down because they look a certain way, they maybe are deemed more palatable in society, that makes you just as bad as the people that may put you down. And she has another song where she says similar lyrics. In her song, Better Than Revenge, she says this: "She's not a saint and she's not what you think. she's an actress. And she claims she writes her own lyrics. So that is her, once again, coming for the woman, because maybe the guy that she's talking about in the song wants that woman. So now I'm not a saint and not what he thinks because he wants me and he don't want you. Like, that makes no sense. A lot of her earliest success when it came to her music definitely had to do with the good girl versus bad girl narrative. And she was always the good girl. I mean, she literally has a song called Look What You Made Me Do. She's talking about how she's like empowered and she's strong, but a lot of it is very much so performative. If you have to make a whole song called Look What You Made Me Do, you can't be that strong. You seem to still be upset at an ongoing conflict that has happened in your life. But if you literally just dissect her lyrics, especially when she first came out, once again, it's always with Taylor being the sweet and innocent girl, the girl you belong with. But the other woman, and there's always another woman, she's shallow, dramatic, fake, not worthy of you. It all fits perfectly in the box of being a textbook definition pick-me. You know that feeling when you're out with your girls? The music's good, the outfit's right, and everything just feels like a movie? That's exactly what I love about Revolve. Every time I shop there, I find something that makes me feel confident, feminine, and put together without even trying. Like this dress. I saw it on Revolve and immediately knew it was the one. It's effortless, but still turns heads when I walk in. What I love most is how Revolve just gets my lifestyle. Whether it's dinner with friends, a weekend trip, or a last-minute night out, I can always find something that fits the vibe perfectly. And they make shopping so easy. Cute outfits for every occasion, personalized recommendations, and fast 2-day shipping, which saves me every single time I have last-minute plans. They have over 1,200 brands, so there's literally something for everyone, from date night dresses to comfy travel fits. So if you're ready to upgrade your wardrobe, head to revolve.com/Toni and use code Toni for 15% off your first order. Whether it's girls' night or a little main character moment, Revolve always makes me feel like the best version of myself. This offer ends October 24th, so you definitely don't want to miss it. Now let's get into Taylor's relationships, the men that she's singing about. Taylor Swift is known for being in a multiple amount of relationships. It seems like Taylor has never been single throughout her entire career, which I think it's okay. I think it's okay to date. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, she's 35 now. She's been making music since she was 15 years old, so it's not shocking that within a 20-year span, she's gonna have multiple partners. I don't think any of us need to be locked down at 22. I mean, if you find the one, the God-given one, though, I don't know if you would know that at 22, but hey, everybody's situation's different, then go for it. Have at it. I'm all for it. So I'm not judging Taylor for having multiple partners. But the thing with Taylor Swift, when it comes to who she's dating, it seems like she doesn't look at them as partners or private relationships. It seems she looks at them as characters and potential PR stunts. Every love story, every breakup, every public feud she's had, she's always the victim. She's always misunderstood. She's always the one that just got hurt in the end. Now, could that be true? Sure. But if that was the case, then you have not grown or evolved as a woman if you continuously are the one getting hurt. Or if in every circumstance you're the victim and you did absolutely nothing wrong. I don't see any growth in that, because I think in every situation it takes two to tango, or whether it's three people, it takes a trouble to throuple. Does that... That doesn't make any sense. Wait, that does not make any sense. Wait. It takes three. I don't know, y'all. I'm trying to make these little analogies here. Regardless, y'all know what I mean. So if she's in beef with multiple people, you are not always the victim, but she always comes across as trying to play victim time and time again. Taylor's never wrong. Taylor's always innocent. And when it comes to relationships from the very beginning, I think that Taylor learned quickly that heartbreak isn't just heartbreak. It can be marketable. Each relationship that she has had the same exact formula. She dates them, it's posted everywhere, they did her dirty, she writes a song, and then she turns out to be the hero. Oh, and of course, the victim once again. When she dated Joe Jonas was her first public heartbreak that we saw, her first very big public relationship. And I think that this is where she got a peek at what can be beneficial if she kind of puts these men on blast, even if it was like a mutual breakup. So with Joe Jonas, when she was asked about her breakup with Joe, or should I say her relationship status, status with Joe, she immediately spilled the beans on their relationship and was happy to do so on national television. And everybody's like, oh my God, she's so relatable. She's America's sweetheart. Once again, she's done it. Because we all know there was one big moment, probably the first one, where Taylor knew that now she can play victim forever and people are always going to cater to her because it's always like, woe is the world when it comes to Taylor Swift. But she did that with Joe, and then she got with John Mayer. She blatantly wrote a song about him called Dear John, and that is notably one of her best songs that she's ever written. She calls out the age gap in the relationship, the manipulation, the emotional damage that he caused her, and to me, I think that it's okay for you to speak your truth when it comes to tumultuous relationships, and even his and her relationship, their big age gap was always a bit odd to me. But instead of her talking about the problematic power dynamics that were displayed in that relationship, I feel as if she ended up romanticizing their relationship by making a music out of it. Everybody loves a good heartbreak or toxic love story. It's, once again, romanticized. It's the woe is me. Oh my God, he did me dirty. Oh my God, I was heartbroken. Oh, here I am once again. Versus this grown 32-year-old man talking to this 19-year-old girl. This added fuel to the fire, making her untouchable and making her feed into the narrative that she is always the victim, she's always the one that's hurt, she's too pure, she needs to be protected. This is used ultimately again and again. And I think this is what really boosted Taylor to the status that she's at today. Basically, each man she dated, from Harry Styles to Joe Alwyn, I think that's his name, right? Jake Gyllenhaal, all of these men that she dated, it was like it was a new era in her life. No pun intended. She dates these men publicly, then she disappears for some time, then she reemerges out of nowhere with a new aesthetic, a new song, or a new sound, and she's perpetuating the same thing, how she's the one that was too emotional, she was too available, she was too forgiving, too misunderstood, and once again, the victim, and she was never the one in the wrong. At least according to her lyrics, that's what's being perpetuated. And obviously, she's not blatantly saying, I'm never in the wrong, but when you look in between the lines, that's literally what is being shown. This pattern is what keeps her good girl image alive and well. It's like the world keeps hurting Taylor, but she keeps on trucking on, and it gives her this really big power, especially when it comes to women, as if she's empowering women. So you might be asking me, like, why exactly does this matter? Well, this matters today because we see the harmful behaviors of her in her dating relationships when you see what she allows her fans to do and what she does not do. So if you guys don't know, Taylor Swift got with the football player Travis Kelce approximately 2 years ago. She is now engaged to the man. They recently got engaged, and Taylor Swift literally emerged what feels like out of nowhere when she got with Travis Kelce. Like, their entire relationship kind of felt like a PR stunt. I mean, they're engaged now, so maybe it wasn't, or is still, or someone's using somebody. But regardless, Travis Kelce had an ex-girlfriend, and their relationship was very public because people really like this interracial relationship thing, and especially when it comes to a Black woman being with a white man, that gets very romanticized, especially among Black women. I think because Black women are not typically displayed in a light where we can be loved outside of our race, which is the furthest thing from the truth. Y'all go and travel. I promise we are loved everywhere. That's all I'm gonna say to that. Clock of that. But that's what's insinuated by society. But yes, when people saw that Taylor and Travis were officially together after Kayla Nicole and Travis, and Kayla Nicole is a sports news reporter, I believe, and she is an influencer. Beautiful Black woman. Once again, their relationship was very public. They were most known for like this one scene when Travis won the Super Bowl and Kayla jumped on him and hugged him. They were a very popular couple. So when they broke up, got back together, and then broke up again, and then Travis pops out with Taylor Swift, y'all know it was a big deal. Not really a big deal among normal people, but it was a big deal among Taylor Swift's fans. And they proceeded to attack Kayla every chance they got. For what reason? I don't know. And it got to the point where Kayla Nicole felt she had to speak out about the amount of bullying she was getting on her page due to her ex-boyfriend moving on.
Hey guys, Kayla here. It's always been really important for me to use my platform not to create division, but to elevate and unite women, Black women specifically. So I prepared a letter and would like to share it with you today. Dear Black girl, they may call you a traitor for falling in love. You'll hope the ones closest will protect you, but you will quickly find out that people don't protect what they don't value. They'll say you're too much, too provocative, too boisterous, too outspoken, and in the same breath tell you that you're not enough, not successful enough, not wholesome enough, maybe not even intelligent enough. They'll say you deserve the backlash and embarrassment. Because of your blackness, you should have known better. They'll even try to tie your value to your net worth. But Black girl, please remember your value lies elsewhere. Your value is deep within your heart, the way you love, the way you give. Your value is in your resilience, your willingness to forgive, the way you protect what means most to you, even if it hurts you along the way, and the way you stand up for what means most to you, even though they may not ever do the same. But Black girl, respectfully, let me stop you there because you don't have to participate in this tumultuous, often one-sided journey. Preserve your heart. Even when they try to quantify your character and test your boundaries, you do not have to engage. You do not have to respond because there is power in your silence. And you can use that same power to silence the noise and the self-doubt. Silence the voices within that want you to give in to this demoralizing and antiquated narrative. Tap into that power. Because I know, girl, the rage of the world is loud. But Black girl, your God is louder and your tribe is stronger. Your blood runs deeper and is filled with strength. And when you finally find the strength to speak your truth, it is your voice that will help you. Because Black girl, let me tell you, you're not in this alone. And even though sometimes I too ask, why me? I'm reminded that this isn't just about me. This isn't just my story, a singular experience. My truth, trauma, and vulnerability is a relatable part of the human experience. I know I'm not alone, and I want to make sure that you know you aren't either. On days where I feel most inadequate, I have to remind myself that I am, have been, and will always be more than enough. Look, we love, we hurt, we heal, but always remember that your story is yours to tell. And you never know whose life it may touch because there's so much power in community and connection. So, dear Black girl, when the world gets dark and times get hard, when you feel like your back is against the wall and your hands are tied like nobody knows or understands what it takes to be you, remember that you are a part of something way bigger. This is only a small chapter in your story. And if you need help, there are resources like therapy, prayer, and community to help you make it through. But most importantly, I want you to remember that you are loved, you are valued, you are allowed to take up space, you deserve protection, and your feelings, they matter too. Solely because you're a Black girl. Sincerely, a Black girl.
Taylor Swift is one of the biggest pop stars today, okay? If not the, but I personally don't agree with that. So I'm not going to say the biggest pop star today. Let's just say she has a massive fan base among typically women that don't look like me. So when you have this crowd of young girls or women, I would say mostly young girls. At least when I saw when she was on tour, there was a lot of young girls going to her concert when I was on the train. It was just a bunch of teenagers from what I've seen. But when a lot of women of one race are attacking a Black woman, it just comes across odd. And there's like this secret beef. So even when Kayla had to come out and speak out against the bullying, Taylor Swift never denounced or told her fans to stop bullying Kayla Nicole. And a lot of people found that quite odd. They were like, why aren't you speaking up? Why aren't you saying anything, knowing the fact that you have this massive fan base and you literally are one of the biggest pop stars in the world? But a lot of people were like, well, why does Taylor have to openly denounce this? Like, that's not her business. She's too busy on tour. She's not the one that's attacking. But it is your responsibility as a influencer, as a celebrity, anyone that has a massive fan base, to speak up when your fans are being, for one, bullies, disrespectful, and racist. Because a lot of her fans were being very racist towards Kayla Nicole. And that's what Kayla spoke about when she decided to speak out against this because it was getting really, really bad. You have a responsibility to do so. And if you guys watched Love Island, that is why I'm glad those two Black women cut that woman off, okay? I don't care what anybody says. You will never experience the amount of hatred that Black women deal with unless you are a Black woman. So I can see you trying to gaslight Black women and tell us that our experience is invalid, but until you're in our shoes, just don't speak, okay? Because you'll never understand. Quite frankly, we don't even understand why we always get so much hatred, but apparently it's just this thing that y'all like to do. But she didn't speak up. The bullying continued. Even years later, Taylor and Travis are still together. Taylor is now engaged to this man. Her fans still are attacking Kayla. And people are like, well, why isn't Taylor speaking up? Like, that makes no sense. Well, I think we know today why Taylor was not speaking up. when it comes to one of her new songs that was just released on her newest album. So in one of her songs called Opalite on the album, this album also got a lot of public ridicule, but we're gonna talk about the song that led people to like just kind of be like grossed out with how Taylor was behaving and why Taylor probably wasn't speaking out when her fans were being racist and nasty towards Kayla, her fiance's ex-girlfriend. Let's get into it. So in that song, her lyrics go, "You couldn't understand it, why you felt alone. You were in it for real. She was in her phone. You were just a pose." So you might be like, well, what does that mean? That means nothing. Well, people dug deeper into these lyrics because this song is apparently about Travis, which is her fiance, the football player we discussed. And there was a clip of Travis telling Kayla to get off of her phone. And this was when they were in a relationship.
Just drink the wine so we can go.
I love it here. I feel like if sometimes someone would pay me attention, I wouldn't have to go on social media.
Get off your phone.
I wouldn't have to get on social media and seek validation.
You're not even
From a
drinking.
bunch of strangers
You're not
on the
even drinking
internet.
your wine anymore.
So it could be interpreted when this song is about Travis and she's talking about a her and she's saying she was on her phone. We're assuming Taylor's not talking about herself because I don't think she'd be speaking about herself in third person. So it can very well be interpreted that she was talking about someone else and seemingly Kayla. But it got really clear to people when she had this lyric in a separate song called Eldest Daughter on that same album. She says this, "'Cause I'm not a bad and this isn't savage, and I'm never gonna let you down. I'm never gonna leave you out." That was very clear that she was talking about a black woman, or not just a black woman, but black women. If y'all don't know, Megan Thee Stallion, a very popular rapper, a black woman, she came out with a song called Savage, and she literally says, "I'm a savage, classy, bougie, ratchet," and she constantly talks about being a bad bee. So it's very clear she's speaking about I'm not a black woman. And if you look at Travis, that's what I call this man, Travis Barker. I want to call him Travis Barker. I want to call him Travis Scott. Travis Kelce. When you look at Travis Kelce in his dating history, Travis has a very specific type. And that type is not Taylor, okay? Travis likes his women being a bad bitch and a savage, according to Taylor Swift. But he likes black women. It's very evident. Once again, let me just be clear that this is Taylor being a pick-me because she's saying what she's not like. Oh, I'm not the typical one that everybody picks. I'm different. The same narrative, the same thing she's been doing since she was 17 years old. Now she's 35. Like, girl, it's time to grow up. That's the one thing I'll have to say. But her point is to say, she's the good girl, okay? She's different. Once again, what was the definition I gave y'all when I said what a pick-me was? This is textbook definition again of her being a pick-me 15 plus years later. This lyric literally highlights, and we're gonna talk about this a little bit more in my next talking point, her being this safe white woman. I'm sure her fans or other white women will come in the comments saying that I'm playing victim or black women are constantly being victims, but I don't care. I'm gonna say it anyway. These lyrics are showing that she's saying that she's not aggressive. She's not sexy. She's not too much. She's soft. She's palatable. She's the embodiment of safe femininity, which is literally what is being pushed in today's world. Well, in our country, should I say, specifically, America. This is the type that white patriarchy pushes, okay? And if she is talking about Kayla Nicole once again, or any of Travis's exes, it shows that she's clearly threatened by not just women, by black women. And the fact that she probably is not Travis's type. She's the safe option, but she's okay with being the safe option because at the end of the day, she got picked. But the question is, if you got picked, why are you still worried about his exes? And that gets into my very next point of people constantly pushing Taylor Swift as being this feminist. But I have always said, and I'm sure a lot of other women that can think a little bit outside the box can interpret, that Taylor Swift has only been an advocate and a feminist for white women. And that's something that was very popular, especially during the women's suffrage movement. The women's suffrage movement should just be labeled the white women's suffrage movement. If y'all want to see a video, I did a very great video back when I was laying in college though, which is crazy, talking about how the women's suffrage movement was never about all women. It was really about white women. And the leaders of that movement made that very clear, but that's not displayed in the textbooks. But if y'all want to check that out, I'm going to leave that linked. But Taylor Swift's empowerment is very much so selective. It's only for women that look like her. Even when you look at her squad era, when she had all those women surrounding her, that squad very much so lacked diversity. She had, who was in the squad? It was Blake Lively. It was herself. She had Gigi Hadid in it, Selena Gomez, women that were not brown, okay? At least those were her main people that we saw her around. Another thing is that Taylor very much so rarely speaks about the things that Black women and women of color go through. She doesn't stand up for women of color. And when you look at her fan base, they are predominantly white women. And I always do this comparison. I hate when people even compare the two. But every time when you go to a Beyonce concert or when you see a Beyonce concert versus seeing a Taylor Swift concert, the demographic looks very different. And this is what I always say when it comes to just anything. If the majority of your audience is one demographic versus a mixed demographic, and you're pushing things like, oh, I want everybody to be themselves and accept themselves, because both of these women do the same thing. Like Beyonce makes music that boosts people in intersectional communities. Taylor claims to do that too, but when you look at both of their concerts and their fan bases, it very much so clearly displays who really does it and who doesn't. That's all I'm going to say on that component. Just look at how diverse Beyonce's concerts look versus Taylor Swift's concerts. And even when it comes to her own fans, if you look at what Taylor's public persona is, it's always, I'm the victim of misogyny, not we're all victims of misogyny, because as women, we all are. We all have dealt with misogyny to some extent, specifically Black and brown women, but hey, at least say something. To your own fans, you don't speak up and advocate for them. But if you want to compare Beyonce and Taylor, like some people like to do, and they like to boost Taylor on a whole different level, let's just say Taylor doesn't have to be revolutionary. She just has to be relatable. Whereas Beyonce has to be the jack of all trades. And that's the difference when you are a Black woman that has to work hard and get to where you are versus a non-woman of color who doesn't have to do much in order to make it, okay? She just has to be relatable to who looks like her. She didn't have to be great. And that gets into Taylor being the professional victim once again. Taylor has turned her victimhood into a brand, and it worked perfectly. I cringe, and I always wish we can go back to when Kanye West took that microphone from that girl and said that Beyonce should have won. That was the start of a very, very long era of Taylor Swift playing victim. I honestly don't think Taylor Swift would be as big as she is today had Kanye West not have done that. I mean, Kanye West agrees too. He said it in his own lyrics. And that was a whole nother situation where Taylor Swift was playing victim again. And then she got exposed, and then Taylor re-exposed it. But she did it years later when nobody cared anymore. She made sure to dig and clear her name. But if y'all want to see that, I have a whole video on Taylor Swift is not America's It Girl, where I go into deeper details on who Taylor Swift is and how she rose to fame. But her feud with Kim and Kanye, her feud with just Kanye, gave her the perfect frame to be a victim and to play innocent. And honestly, in that situation, she was the victim. I think what Kanye did was very much so wrong. But she has been stuck in 2009 for the past, how many years has that been? 15 years? It's time to move on. So I'll wrap this video up by saying this. Taylor Swift's career is a reflection of what our society rewards. The world uplifts women, predominantly white women, whether y'all want to agree with that or not, or speak the truth on that or not, who are deemed fragile, quiet, and non-threatening. She's proof that whiteness, along with those traits, are the ultimate formulas for success. When Taylor Swift expresses emotion or bashes men consistently, she's poetic, she's deep. But when a Black woman does it, she's angry, she's problematic, she likes drama, she likes to stir up trouble. There's a very, very clear difference into what people that look like Taylor Swift are able to do versus Black and brown creators and entertainers, or just any Black or brown woman that is seeking success. Her rise shows how relatability can just be code for being white and labeled as innocent. Taylor clearly did not invent pick-me culture, okay? She just perfected it and then monetized it. She played the game smart, so kudos to her. I'll definitely give her that, because I'd probably do the same if I had the same privileges. Her version of empowerment only exists within systems that that protect her very own image. And her version of empowerment is only geared towards one type of specific woman. And as for her being a pick-me, it's very clear that she boxes herself in as being the innocent one, the victim, the one who's always done wrong, and the one that should always be picked because she's so innocent and fragile. And that's something that you would think she would grow out of, but she just never did. And her fans are continuing to eat it up. But you guys, I of course want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on Taylor Swift allegedly being a pick-me? Do you guys agree with it? Are you guys against it? Let's get the discussion going on in the comments down below. As always, if you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you guys so much for your love and support. I'm very curious what y'all have to say in the comments down below. Y'all can have different opinions. I can't even talk. Y'all can have different opinions from me, but always be respectful. I love and I appreciate you all so very much, and I will see you all in my very next video. Love you guys. Bye. Mwah.
Taking you in this moment. Come get close like you own name. Read your aura, you want more of all this love, you'll be your name. Release all of your burden.